Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Claire Howard and I am ready to, put myself out there. I've been a marketer for the past 15 years and now I am ready to really create something of my own. I've started a few different brands, hobbies in the past, but I am officially putting myself out there to really stand behind the Breadwinner Collective. It is a company that I am very passionate about, and I want to really record and see the process from beginning to end and really just not give up on it. Being as though, the majority of the campaigns that I've worked on in my career, you can be really mediocre and succeed really fast if you are just consistent. So yeah, let's just be consistent and see what happens, So the Breadwinner Collective is all about shining light on women who are essentially the breadwinners of their household. It doesn't matter if you are single, it doesn't matter if you're married. We are right now, and also specifically Black women, we are the most educated in this country. But we tend to be, as women and as a whole, we tend to be the breadwinners of our household. And especially if you're married, it's not really something that you talk about. I wonder, because I haven't really asked the women that I know that actually are the breadwinners of their household and they're married, do they file head of household on their taxes? I don't know. I'm gonna ask a few of them and see what they say, because I think that would be just something juicy that I would want to know, but whatever. So to start out, I will be showing you 3 planners that I have created, and I do use these planners. I just got them in the mail. I'm very excited about it. I've been using them digitally for a while, but also just using them in a bunch of different ways. This has just been a smorgasbord of how I have been able to track the things that I do on a daily basis, whether if it's at work, for clients, or just for my household and me being a single mom, and making sure that I am staying aware of, for one, where my money is going and where my time is going and what I'm putting in my body in terms of nutrition. Also reestablishing and bringing out snail mail. That is something that I think that most women who are the breadwinners of their household think of that type of woman. I would think that receiving a piece of mail from, one of your girlfriends, or, you giving a piece of mail to, your favorite auntie, or, sending something to your man or to your girl, whatever floats your boat. Sending them a snail mail, and, it doesn't have to be anything long at all. It can be really short and sweet, something funny, but just receiving and sending that, I would imagine that is a part of my target demographics likes. So I do have some postcards that will be a part of the retail space for Breadwinner Collective, and then also some clothing items as well. I'm a big graphic t-shirt girly. I also someone that loves to just wear color, but I am also someone that loves a white t-shirt, as you can see. So there will be a mixture of all of these things, but the thing that I am excited about the most is really putting the stories out there of the women that will and are currently making up the collective by interviewing you all. I put out a call to action on TikTok and on Instagram, and I've received a number of emails from you ladies that want to tell your story. I think it's really scary and also interesting that, over 600,000 Black women have lost their jobs and have yet to find employment. And a lot of those women are starting their own companies. They're they're experts at what they're doing. They've been doing it for a number of years. A lot of them are highly educated. They have multiple degrees. And so now they're saying, you know what? I'm just gonna do my own thing and put my services out there. So from what I majored in school, I was an English major, and when I went to Howard University, graduated from Howard, thank you. But I definitely I want to get back into my writing bag of writing more editorial pieces. Being a marketer for the past 15 years, it's, you can get very attached to writing shorthand, and I am ready to extend that long form content, hence why I'm also creating a YouTube, because I want to, it's more interesting to me. There's more meat you can add to it instead of everything that's just like microwavable popcorn, on like TikTok and Instagram. So this is what I'm most excited about with Breadwinner Collective, is really being able to tell the stories of other women and really making it interesting, and not just making it a, question answer sort of article. I really wanted to tell a beautifully written story, and to help do my part in that way for our community. One of the goals of Breadwinner Collective is that each quarter, from all of the sales that we are going to be able to get, is to donate to a majority women-owned charity and or invest into a women-owned business, and to literally do that every quarter, similar to like how I don't even know if they're still around anymore, but remember Tom's shoes? I remember growing up, I think his campaign was like, buy a shoe, give a shoe. And so, I mean, we're not buying a shoe, giving a shoe, but, we are definitely donating every single quarter to a charity, like I said, or a women-owned business. And that is something that will be extremely, extremely exciting for me. And then the big thing that I'm really excited about also is that hopefully I am able to get out at least 50 interviews by Thanksgiving. I really want to bring back a printed magazine and make the Breadwinner Collective into at least to release a print version each quarter. I know it's way too much to do that, every month. I've been the managing editor of some magazines for some companies that I worked for. And it does take a lot to, find the stories, to finish the articles, to lay out the entire magazine and all of that. So I want to make sure that I do this with justice, and that the stories are meaty, and that the women feel like their stories are being told in totality. And I'm not like, making their voices feel suppressed in any way when they're telling their story. And also, I want good sponsors, I want to be able to definitely make the magazine look like, it's something, So these are all of the things that I am, I will be recording and documenting along the way of building the Breadwinner Collective, but then also just sharing, my life as well as being a mom, and finding out who is Claire, now that I am a mom to my princess, because you're never really the same person ever again. So it's a fun discovery, it's, for one, I've cut my hair, I had locks for the last 16 years, and it's a spiritual process, growing your locks. When I started my locks, I cut all my hair off like it is now. And I started my locks when I was at Howard in 2010, and it's I was attached to the memories and the strength that my hair gave me. And you do feel extremely different, once you cut your hair off. When you had locks for so long, I can imagine even if you had, loose hair, you still feel extremely different when you cut your hair as well. But for it to be just, woven all in throughout, interlocked into my hair, the memories, good or bad, it's just, it was, I would say I definitely had like a spiritual awakening that, I'm still uncovering, I'm still unpacking, and it's interesting. But I told myself that I would cut it once, and then I'm just gonna let it grow out, because I had a lot of fun with my locks in general. I dyed it, I did so many cute, fun styles, but like I want to have fun and like get some box braids. I want to like a cute bust down, but it has to grow a little bit some more. So I'm just gonna let it grow out and see what happens, and just have some fun, be flirty with it. But here we are with the 3 planners that I've created that I am very, very, very excited about. So this first one is called the Fridge Door, and I titled it that because this is the mom planner. And these, mind you, all 3 of these planners will be in different colors. These are just like my 3 babies, but when you go on the website, they are in different colors, and they won't all have text on the front. The different colors will just be what they are. But we have the Fridge Door, which is our mom planner. It encompasses all things, just for that month, of like an overview shot of what's going on that month. And then it has your weekly layout as well. And then it also has a self check-in. It also has an area where you can meal plan and do your groceries as well. And then also just a quarterly like decluttering, cleaning, big checklist that you need to do for your house every quarter. Something as simple as, changing the, what is it called? Whatever. I forgot what it's called. I just got them from Home Depot the other day and now I can't even remember. Whatever. It helps your air quality in your house. They can look really dirty when you take them out, but then you got to change it every quarter. Anyways, so it's in there too. And this has been something that I wish I had before my daughter was here, so that by the time, she was here, I was able to really plan out, because I was on maternity leave for maybe 5 months, I want to say 5 or 6 months. It was a pretty good maternity leave. However, your days can just go, and they're long, but they zoom by so fast. You don't even realize what you did that week. You can you can get lost. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get lost. You want to make sure that you know what you did, especially if you are trying to have a cute little baby book for your baby boy or your baby girl, and you want to write things down, and sometimes you may forget, say it's time for them to start eating, and solids, and you haven't really written down what you gave them when you're trying out different foods in terms of allergies. You wrote down your grocery list, and you can go back and make sure, oh, he had this that day, she had this that day. She allergic to that. She can't eat that. You know what I'm saying? The Fridge Door. It's pretty thick. They're all undated. Each calendar is undated. I've wasted so many calendars because they had the year and the month on there, and I got the calendar in August, and I done wasted all that paper. It needs to be undated, and it is. So this is the Fridge Door. I'll open it up in a second. I just want to explain. I guess I can just open it up now, so you can see what's in there. Now, when I say the monthly calendar, and I would highly suggest that you color code, the things that you need done. It's pretty, I don't know if you can see, but there's a pretty big area here for you to do the big snapshot of what you got planned that month. Birthdays, doctor's appointments, trips, bills, whatever you need to see in a quick snapshot, it goes there. Now for me, when I am doing sort of my weekly planning, I do subtasks in between, below each task, so that before I can check it off. So I left room there for you because I needed that, and I figured, I don't know, you would need that as well. I do this also with even at a corporate job, there's always a subtask underneath a single task. So you need space to write that stuff down. But of course, Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays, hopefully they're a lighter day for you, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday is here. And then, I don't know if you can see that. And then you have your don't forget list here, and then your self check-in list. It is very easy to forget about yourself. You do not want to do that. I am still learning that. If you're not okay, your babies are not okay. If you are the primary care parent, you need to be okay. You need to go get your nails done. These are press-ons. If your self-check-in, self-care is going to Target or Marshalls or wherever to get some press-ons because you don't have time or you don't have the funds right now, to go to the nail shop, because let's be real, what are they really doing at the nail shop? Let's be real. Go get you some press-ons. Go get a massage. You know, go take a pottery class. Go do something, you know, for yourself. And then we have your weekly meal prep list. You know, I will say, ladies, if you are postpartum or not, and you just like the fridge door because you put stuff on your fridge door and you don't have any babies yet, or you just don't plan on having babies, whatever, tracking your food really helps. And literally simply walk. Okay, I have lost almost, it's like 15 pounds, I want to say, literally from walking. That's it. Because I don't have time to like do a workout the way I used to. I used to lift weights before my daughter was born, and now all I can do is walk. My pelvic is still healing, and it's just, I don't have time. I say I don't have time, but like, you know what? We're not gonna do that. Back to walking because I need to make the time to lift some weights, but I ain't did that yet. But anyways, walking and literally just tracking the foods that I'm eating has, like I said, I've lost almost 15 pounds, and it makes a world of difference because I'm able to fit my pre-baby clothes, and I fit them better than when I did before I was pregnant. So let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. And again, it's undated. It goes, you know, it's a 12-month calendar, the fridge door. Then we have the Breadwinner Planner, ladies. So this is really for monthly planning, goal setting, affirmations, and reflections. You really need to know, especially if you're trying to start a new business, even if it's a side hustle, you know what I'm saying? And you got your 9 to 5, because hey, bills need to be paid. You need to keep track and make sure you know what it is that you plan to do that month, that day, because you have to put in the breadcrumbs in order for you to have the entire puzzle. You know, you're not going to see what it is that you're trying to build if you don't plan it out. You have to plan it out, and you have to stick to it, and you have to actually take action on what it is that you're planning. But this planner, again, is undated, and this one is, it's just a little bit more zhuzh. Again, if you want to actually tell yourself what your annual goals are, there's a page for that. It gives you what word of the year is, what your word of the year is, you know, for you to plan that out, what your goals are for that year, your top 3 goals, what you're releasing, what you're trying to call in. This is something that has helped me in the past, for sure. Even when I was at my 9 to 5 and I was calling myself trying to like work my way up the corporate ladder. Just give me the money and I will build something on my own, you know. That's where we at with that. And just so you can see, so you have a quick overview of the year, my year at a glance, what your key focus will be for that entire month. Think of this as like your editorial calendar for that year. No matter what business you're trying to start, think of it like that, because you want to know what it is that you're focusing. Think about your key focus as like, what is your theme for that month, okay? And then you have your monthly affirmation. You want to journal and think back to how you felt about certain things and what it is that you're trying to be intentional about. You want to think back to how you felt the month previously as to why you need to change certain things, but be intentional about what it is that you're trying to do moving forward. And I do have certain things here to ask you to give you something to you know, help you write that month, but hopefully you all are also journaling on the side anyway, because it really is good therapy. And so with walking is also, you know, which is also why, you know, let's lose 15 pounds, because I was out there in that sun, girl. So this is the monthly overview as well. I don't know if you can see that. This is the monthly overview. Again, snapshot into the big picture of what it is that is going on for that month for your business or your household. Whatever you want to use this for. But the Breadwinner Planner is for business owners and or just the breadwinners of the house, and making sure, hey, you got your money coming in. Okay. And then we have this month's intentions, goals for this month. What are your priorities this month? What are you grateful for? And what are the monthly wins? Write it all out. Write everything out, okay? And then just so you can see what the actual weekly calendar looks like, you have the weekly snapshot so you can see it all in one place, like big things here. And then you have your checklists, okay, for the daily tasks that you'll have to do. Yeah, this is the Breadwinner Planner, and it goes like that for the entire 12 months. Everything is undated. Then we have, ooh, disgusting, excuse me, our Know Your Numbers, Move on Purpose Financial Planner. I purchased this house by myself, okay? I'm very proud of that. And if I was not keeping track of my finances, it would not have worked out. And also, conjoining this, being intentional, I was very intentional about my finances in a spreadsheet that I had, which is, you know, how I laid it out here for you all. That what is it that I did it so it was like, what number do I want to make each month by whatever month that was. So for me, it was in, when did I buy this house? 2023. So in 2023 of that year, I had told myself that I had wanted to make a certain amount of money by that June. And I wrote it down in my goals. And I wrote down where the money was gonna come from. And having it written down, like literally writing it out and not just having it somewhere on your computer, it makes it real. It makes it more real than even just having it in a notes app on your phone. Because you can see it, your body, something really does happen. And I stand by that. As long as you put the action behind it, and as long as you read it every day, what you actually wrote out with a pen and paper, it is doable. But if I did not know my finances, if my financial picture, and where my money was going, how much I was spending on DoorDash, you know, because let's be real, if you're single and also you just don't like to cook like that, like I don't. I don't like to cook like that. I'm getting better because, you know, my baby girl, she needs to eat real food. But no, when I bought this house, when I had my apartment, no, it was not my thing. So DoorDash was my friend, but it had to not be my friend because we needed to stop spending money where money didn't need to go, because we needed to go into down payment for this house. Okay, but that also helped me to be able to make six figures, like I said, by writing down that number, because I knew that I didn't want to rent anymore, because what happened to the rent money? You know, that's not an equity in my house. You know, it's not. So yeah, write things down. Write down a number. No number is too big. No number is too big. It's not. Write it down and know where your money is going. Know how much debt you have. Know what debt is good and what debt is bad. You know, and for me, I really like the snowball effect. Some people really like the avalanche effect of when you're paying down your debt, but you know, that's on you. That's your personal choice. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is undated as well, and it breaks things down into 3 goals of what you want for that entire year. And then, so you can see here, your net worth snapshot. This will be in each quarter. This page is for each quarter, so you can see like where have you decreased any debt? You know, have you established your Roth IRA? What's in your 401k, your high yield savings account, your regular savings account, if you want to do that, your checking, you know, the property of your home. Has your home gotten any more equity, you know, based on how much money that you're able to put in extra for your principal? You know, it just depends. What is the debt that you have on your home? You know, snapshot of all of that. Then you have your monthly budget on here, okay? You really need to know what's going on. I mean down to the penny, because we got things we want to do. We got things. We got places we want to go. You understand what I'm saying? And then we have your savings goals. You need to save your money, okay? You have to. You have to have at least a 6-month rainy day fund. You know, if you like to travel, I would also suggest having a travel fund where that is in a high yield savings account where it's just, you know, doing what it needs to. And then you have your bill due tracker as well, so you know exactly when the money is about to come out of your account for auto pay. If you're able to have it on auto pay, getting your bills to auto pay is such an accomplishment, and we got to work our way up there, you know. And once you get there, you feel like real grown. Okay. You feel real grown. And then it just starts all over from the debt payoff tracker back to the monthly budget, okay, back to the savings and all of that. And it just goes. It goes for the entire year. But again, each quarter you will have that snapshot overview so you can see the big picture of what's going on with everything for your finances. And yeah, that's the 3 planners. Let me get the postcards. Hold on. So I'm really excited about these. So we have I made 10 postcards so far for Breadwinner Collective, and they're just like really fun. You know, I will be making a lot more, but yeah, I like these. I think they're very, very cute. They're made out of linen paper, and I did that because for one, it feels nice, and number 2, a lot of the postcards that my sister has sent me, which I've saved all of them, they have really beautiful pictures on them. And I keep them on my fridge or, you know, in a photo album. But they're beautiful enough to be framed, you know? And that was my idea with this, was that they could be framed. You can, you know, put them on your desk. And a lot of people even ask me for some of the postcards that my sister has sent me, like, who's that little girl? Who's that? And it's like, I don't know who that is. That's a postcard. So that was my idea behind that. So these are just a few of them so you can see, and they have like really fun, funky names. And I'm gonna like do like, you know, what they look like on the website. You can't really see the quality of the pictures, of course, in like the still images, but you know, they feel nice. Again, they're linen paper. Maybe you can like see kind of like the little ridges on there, but yeah, they're really cute, really cute. So I'll be releasing different ones every month. I want to get the postcards to a point of being able to have a stationery club where you can subscribe to have them sent to you every single month, whatever that new package is, and or whatever collaboration that I do with whatever artist. That will be like very, very exciting. So yeah, that is what's going on with Breadwinner Collective. As of right now, I have a few articles that I need to edit, and I am going to go out and do that right now and have some me time and get a little drinky drink. Yeah, while my parents have my daughter. And I think they just opened up the garage right now, so I would imagine that she's gonna run in here any moment. So I will be following up later this week and recording some more stuff. But hopefully the first article will be released this week, which will be released for one, on the website in written form, but I'm also going to be doing a narration of the article. I'll house that on this channel as well and put like some fun little visual aspect to that, and then also host that same audio on Spotify and Apple, and create a channel there. But I want to be able to get out content to you all at least 2 times at minimum a week, by doing a weekly vlog, and or just check in for the Breadwinner. But also there will be an article that is released every single week on this channel for Breadwinner Collective that is featuring a dope woman that I've interviewed. So thank you for staying with me for this first video. So like and subscribe to this channel, and toodles.